Join us a little bit later on in Bracketology, and so too is John Calipari. Calipari getting the 2 seed in the Midwest. That's where Carolina's the 1.
Where does he sit down? Where do you sit down there? Jerseys all over the place.
Look at that.
John Calipari, P.J. Washington, Tyler Hero, Kentucky Wildcats. Welcome.
Kentucky is the 2 seed in the Midwest. They were number 2 in the country on opening night, and Duke whacked them 118-84. Many in Big Blue Nation thought the world was coming to an end, but the season does not end in November. Cats won 5 games against ranked teams. Most in the regular season since 2014 and 15 came really close to winning the regular season. P.J. Washington transformed. 5 20-point games entering conference play, had 7 against SEC teams this year alone. Split some regular season meetings against Tennessee, and in a game that had a Final Four feel in the SEC tournament semifinals. Volunteers were perfect down the gut of the game, and they nipped the Wildcats. They did not keep Kentucky from getting that 2 seed. In 6 of their last 8 trips to the NCAA tournament under John Calipari, the Wildcats have gone to the Elite 8 or farther. John Calipari joins us now, and we're delighted that this has become a custom on Selection Sunday. So, John, when you see your 2 seed and where you're bracketed, a lot of times you've taken issue with it, but what did you think of where you are?
First of all, Seth, I wanted to gag you hearing, oh, everybody was great. They did a great job. Stop. But you're thinking I'm going to be coaching next year, and I want these people to treat me right. That's what you're doing. You know, this whole thing, you know, at the end of the day, what happened to us in the tournament gave us an extra day. I looked at the stats of the game. I can't believe we lost the game. I look at how we played in the second half with a bunch of young guys. So Tennessee advancing and doing what they did, but the SEC, a couple 2 seeds, a 3 seed, a couple 5 seeds, an 8 seed, and even Florida as a 10 seed, shoot the 3. You know, I mean, Florida as a 10, what happened? What? I mean, Florida as a 10 seed, I mean, you're talking about a team that can advance.
Cal, what did you learn about your team? You think about how your season started in the Bahamas and then obviously the Duke game, but this journey that you've been on with this team, you've had some interesting journeys. How did you get your team from Duke to where they are today, where they're going to compete for national championship?
Well, first of all, we don't do any defense in the summer. Season's too long. Most cases, it goes till April. Even when they come back on campus, I don't do defense until September or when the season starts, October, because the season's too long. It takes us a while defensively. Early in the season, we were shaky. I mean, Transylvania and IUP, Indiana of Pennsylvania, beat us on the dribble 30 times, both of them. Now we've become a good defensive team. People talk about players' confidence. Until you build defensive confidence, you're not going to be a confident offensive player. It doesn't work that way. When Jay Billis got dunked on and scored on and ran by, you think Jay was going to go down there and make a shot? It wasn't happening. He was hoping to get a rebound. You have to defend first. And what's happened is we become better defensively, we become better offensively because guys are more confident.
Well, I got news for you. You're going to have my jersey behind you because I was the #1 pick in the Lawyers League.
What jersey?
But Cal, one of the transformations in your team was the transformation of P.J. Washington. And the look he has on the floor now, the way he carries himself, not just his productivity level, but the way he carries himself is so much different now than it was 2 months ago. What do you count for that
Or a
difference?
year ago.
Or a year ago.
Or a year ago.
Yes.
You know, yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, Jay, is he got himself in great shape. When we do running and anything, he finishes first. He barely finished a year ago. Like it was okay to be last. Now he finishes first. Now he's spending extra time in the gym mastering his craft. Now he's able to play longer, bounce more, anticipate, be ahead of the action instead of behind. And now all of a sudden, he's built his own confidence to a point like He's as good as anybody in the country. Scoring the ball around that basket. Do you know he's our leading three-point shooting percentage player? And that three, when that charge was called, when Williams kind of flopped, but the throw to the corner where he made that three that would have ended the game, that was PJ that made that. So, I mean, he's gotten so much better, and he's also been a great team leader. If I'm really on a guy or doing something, he'll calm everybody down, or we come in a huddle and he needs to get on Ashton, like he'll do it. Like, come on, man, let's go. He's become a leader.
Cal, actually, let's follow up on that question. How has it been for you to let go a little bit of that? Because I saw you in years past, you had to do a lot of micromanaging. How does it feel as a coach to actually let your players lead from internally?
Well, we're still not quite there with this team. What I liked is Ashton started calling offense on his own. And I like what I see defensively when they're scramming and switching and they're covering for each other on their own. But an empowered team at this time of the year that can play 40 minutes. And the biggest thing I've been challenging these guys with, you got to play to the training. You don't play to the tournament. You don't play to the opponent. You play to your training because it's the only thing you can do for 40 minutes. Because you've gone in 2-hour practices, 2.5 hours, an hour and a half the day before the game. Play to the training. And then the second piece is an empowered team is going to be more confident because they're coaching each other. And they'll accept it better. The second piece, we're not quite there yet.
Cal, what defines a successful tournament run for this team?
Just keep winning games. How many can you win?
How many would that be?
You know, again, let's try to win 6, but I'm telling you what we're trying to do is beat Abilene right now. Abilene Christian shoots 40% from the three-point line. Figured we have somebody like that that's going to be launching threes. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to have to play, and you're going to have to guard threes, which means long rebounds, which gives them second chance opportunities. We got to play that one. The next games, I'm not worried about. It's trying to keep these guys in the moment. And you know what? For me, a bunch of these, we've been starting 4 freshmen. And you know what? Those kids have all come together and are getting better and better. How this plays out, you don't know. I mean, a year ago, we had us in North Carolina in Memphis. Last year, it was us in Kansas State. Both of those games, we had a chance to win and advance one more round. But, you know, there's all kind of factors that come into this. And I told them, you don't watch the games. Teams you're worried about get beat. Why'd you spend any time on and anxiety on anybody during this tournament? You don't have the time. Don't watch the games. I watched Alaska Last Frontier, Building Off the Grid, Life Below Zero. Then you don't have to worry about any of the basketball. And I tell my wife, Seth, I can do that. She laughs at me like, you could never do that.
You can't do anything.
So you're crazy.
You kidding me?
Wait, we found out exactly what you can and can't do by your wife going on social media now and enlightening us, which has been very helpful.
What's wrong with her? What's wrong with her?
I think it's great. I think she's awesome.
Your wife and Ellen and the girls, they're taking over.
You know, Megan and Aaron are crazy, too. They'll fight for their dad. I have to calm them down. Ellen just wants to, like, smack me around. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't look at this stuff.
You're a good roommate.
But yeah, I'm a roommate. I said, what are you talking about, roommate? And, you know, now we sleep in different bedrooms, but what's the problem? I mean, I don't know what the problem is.
John, best of luck. John Calipari, head coach at Kentucky. They open in the Midwest against Abilene Christian. John, always a pleasure. Thanks for being with us, pal.
Thanks, guys. Have fun.
John